Next. Next up. Sits of Sigmar. Scourge Ghyran, expedite your planning permission across the mortal realms. Hail, fellow marshal, and well met. Well, greeting, stranger. As you've no doubt heard, the most valiant armies of the cities of Sigmar are to receive a mighty boon on this good day. Adam Van Denst, no relation, has your marching orders. The loads guy, let's go. If you like big guns, oh, of course I know him. It's me. And who doesn't? Then the new veteran Cannoneers battle formation will be right up your barrel. It enables you to reroll a hit, wound, or damage roll up to 3 Ironweld Great Cannons. The second formation, Fearless Exemplars, is a combined arms approach to battle, which is useful if you plan to be Shootan before Charjan. The heroic traits are collected under the title Castellite Veterans Draw Steel, gives your units extra attacks, while Astute Tactician is perfect for getting your units where you need them quicker. The third trait, Cosmopolitan Leader, is particularly handy if you're commanding a mixed force of humans, elves, and Dwarven. Please, more. Basically, the first 2 get stuck in while the elves grab the objectives. I mean, that makes perfect sense. It's teamwork. Consider combining these heroic traits with Afakar's orders for some truly unexpected combos. The 2 Warscrolls under scrutiny today are Pontifex Zenestra. Was she good already? I can't remember. And Freeguild Cavaliers. Oh, yes. Yes. They look so good, but they were so bad. Mr. Four's on everything. Good choice to rewrite on that one. Wasn't Pontifex good already? That's a bit of a potentially wasted opportunity to remake something else that should be better, right? Pontifex Zenestra has always been a powerful figure of authority, but now she's even more... Oh, we just buffed her, okay. First, she can wound and possibly kill outright any wizzy or priester who dares to get too close or banish a manifestation. The word of the god king can be pretty potent. On top of that, she can inspire your warriors to such a degree that they fight even as they're dying. Oh, just like in the anime. They wouldn't die even if they were killed. Or she can simply spirit them away to somewhere safer. Oh, spirited away, speaking of anime. Not so brave, but alive. Meanwhile, Freeguild Cavaliers have also had a Gyranic G-up. I almost read that wrong. The red work is every bit as violent as it sounds. Put simply, they just love hitting stuff. They're already in combat. They now have an ability that lets them and a nearby Cavalier Marshal, including one on a Griffin, count as charging, making them doubly dangerous. Oh Lord, I've seen what you've given to other armies. Free 3d6 charge for no reason. Retreat and charge. Count as charging. I just asked that for my army as well. Alright, view downloads. And then we got 2 of them. Alright, this was the Night Hound. We can get rid of that. Enhance. Faction rule, enhance. Alright, there we go. Cities of Sigmar. Veteran Cannoneers. Once per turn army, your shooting phase. Pick up to 3 friendly Ironweld Great Cannon units to be the targets. Yes, I do want to play with 3 Great Cannons. I actually do. For the rest of the turn, each time the target uses a Shoot ability, you can reroll 1 hit or 1 wound or 1 random characteristic roll for the damage characteristic. I'll tell you what. What if the damage characteristic wasn't random and we just reach across the aisle? But alright. Cool. Each time they shoot, you get to reroll something that doesn't go your way during that shooting profile. And you pick all 3. And I want to say that each of them gets this, so you can reroll 3 things, 1 per target. Because it does say each time the target, and there's 3 targets. That could undo some of the randomness. I can't remember how good, mediocre, or weak the Great Cannon is exactly. They love hitting stuff so much they lost an attack. Oh no. Anyway, I don't know how good this is because I don't know what a cannon is, but we're about to see, right? Oh no, we're not. Yeah, this is other stuff. This is so important to me that I'm about to check the tapes. We're back. I'm still scrolling, actually. I'm still scrolling to the cannons. Cannons where? Someday the way this is ordered will make any sense to me. We're still in hero land because the heroes are first. That part does make sense. There we go. So unchanged is the Ironweld Great Cannon. What is it? Yeah, I had to turn the music off because for some reason the copyright-free fake jingle that I used for that video, someone either bought the copyright in the interim or pretended to and just started copy striking stuff. Well, okay, not copy striking, but like revenue shutting off. So I had to mute it, sadly. Damn, copyright's really good and really fucking stupid at the same time. Each time this user shoot, if it's in a fortified position, you can pick Cannonball or Grape Shot. If it is not, then you always use Grape Shot, okay? And there's a way to give it fortified sometimes for whatever. Cannonball is 24, 2 attacks, 4s and 2s, Ren 2, D3 plus 2. Okay, that's not so bad. Yeah. So the damage is 3, 4, or 5, right? So that's not the worst. That's not like a D6 or something. So the random characteristic is fine. Chances are you're re-rolling the hit roll on these with ability, right? And it has 2 shots with the long boy. So you pick 3 great cannons, and all 3 of them are shooting long boy shots at 24. And for each of them, you can re-roll 1 something. And that something is probably going to be the 4-up to hit. So it maybe turns a miss into a hit 3 times. Hey, all right. It almost certainly turns a failed wound into a successful wound because all you have to do is dodge a 1. And it'll turn damage if you just got lucky on everything else and you're greedy, right? So, okay. It's like a... That's something. Yeah, if you're Greywater Fastness, you know, Ironweld Cannon Enjoyer, this probably helps build out some stuff. Next, Fearless Exemplars. Once per turn army, your hero phase. Frontline Leader. Pick a friendly City Sigmar human infantry. Then you can pick up to 1 non-human infantry and up to 1 human war machine that are all wholly within 12 of that hero. So you just deploy them in a giant brick and then you move them around. Well, the targets are wholly within 12 of the hero. Add 1 to rend of the infantry and the target war machine for until your next. Okay. So you have a human infantry hero leading a bunch of double hammered dwarves and a fucking cannon. And they just get rend 1. So rend 2. Potentially rend 3 depending on what you're doing. Great. I like it. It's fine that this is called out and this is called out and this is called out. That's actually kind of nice. Because then, but you do have to work them together then, right? Human infantry? Well, human infantry hero, but then a non-human infantry, right? So non-human infantry are better than human infantry, at least for pure damage, right? Because the dwarves are pretty good. No, they're working together. This is good. Non-heto. No, a non-hero. Oh, hold on. Oh, non-hero human. I misread it. I was reading what I wanted to read. Damn, this is the last time I wake up and start streaming right away. Reading is hard for ogre players. Yeah, I know. Okay, so it has to be human, and then it has to be human, and it has to be human. So it is sad. Okay, boo. Like, the ability's good, but I'm sad again. It's just, I just don't see race, and so I just thought that you could mix them. It's my fault. All right. Then it's quite too bad. Heroic traits. Draw steel. If this unit charged this turn, pick a friendly city Sigmar human. Unit that charged this turn and is wholly within 12. So you have to charge, and your squad has to charge. You both have to succeed. You can't get in each other's way. And you each have to be wholly within 12 of each other once you're already in combat. Which is a little tricky. Add 1 to attacks of the target's melee weapons. And the target is human. Okay. It's a lot of bonus attacks. Nice. Yeah, if you can line this slightly awkward thing up on the table, that's potentially a bunch of bonus attacks for whatever human unit is following that hero around for charging. Note that it doesn't have to be like an infantry or anything. It could be cav. Cities of segregation bar. Astute tactician. Pick a friendly city as a Sigmar unit wholly within 12. For this turn, add 1 to charge rolls for the target and 2 to run rolls. Okay. How much run and charge is there in this army, I guess, is the next question I should ask. Cosmopolitan leader. Pick a friendly city as a Sigmar infantry or cav unit wholly within 12. If this unit is human, pick up to 3 eligible units to be the targets. Damn, all this racism. What is this? Roll a die on a 3-up. Ew, a 3-up. Okay. If the target is human, add 1 to wound rolls. If it's Dwarden, add 1 to charge rolls. If it's elf, add 3 to control score. This is elven slander. This is actually the kind of thing that I would like to see all over the place in Cities of Sigmar, honestly, is pick what humans are the best at, and they do that in the army. And then pick what dwarves are the best at, and they do that in the army. And pick what elves are the best at, and have them do that. And then it's all about commanders or the units bringing what they're the best at to the melting pot of why they're the best at everything city now, right? So stuff like this is the kind of stuff that I would like to see. Obviously, I don't want to see control score, right? But these are like the kind of mixing rules that I would like to see more often. 3-up kind of sucks. You get to pick 3 if you're a human, but all right. You want fully mixed units, like there's a dwarf in a helmet next to an elf with the same helmet and stuff like that, like the irregulars. It would be aesthetically very fun to craft units for, if the baseline models weren't so good already. Yeah, only humans can give orders. Dwarves are too short, so their voice doesn't carry as far. And elves are too soft-spoken, and so same reason. You know, maybe it is that the humans are doing the best thing. Humans are the best at being in charge. Got 'em. If they have the same helmet, doesn't that make them regulars? I guess I meant the same color, but yeah, sure. Yeah, I suppose it does make them regulars. Humans are the best at being charged. That's, I don't know, man. Dwarves have a move of 4, but Then again, anybody who's not cavalry this edition is pretty good at being charged. Heroic traits. We did those already. Down to the 2 war scrolls. Well, let's summarize up here. Cannon crews, fun. Not as impactful as you might think, but fun. And if somebody wants to play a bunch of cannons, you have my blessing. Sounds great. Frontline leader, a little too racist. Cosmopolitan leader, correct amount of racism. Racism parenthetical good, because it's showing the things that each of the races are great at. I would choose some different things they're great at, plus a roll and some other goofy stuff, but it's dipping a toe in the right direction, kinda. This thing's a great buff that might be hard to set up. This is minor, but if you get run in charge, then it's great, obviously. And now we got Pontifex Zenestra. And then those Cavaliers that I can't wait to see what they do with, because they look so cool, and I was sad that they were bad. $9.55 4 up. 4 up. Oof. Pontifex indeed. Technically gets to roll dice during the combat phase, but I might just skip it to save time. Word of the God King. Pick an enemy, wizard, priest, or manifestation with 18 to be the target. Probably won't be one, if I'm honest. Sometimes there will be. Roll a die, 3 up. If it's a manifestation, it's banished. Otherwise, inflict an amount of mortal damage equal to the roll. Almost a... So 4, 5, or 6. Well, 3, 4, 5, 6, or nothing, I guess. It's a lot of mortal damage to a wizard or priest. Getting within 18 of a wizard priest is normally like a late game thing. But if you're playing this, you might consider having it be an early game thing if you can help it. Potentially big damn, you know? And how often can I use this? Both hero phases. Yo, Pontifex could be a little pizza pit if there's wizards or priests floating around. Do this twice a battle round? Little pizza pit? Anyway, intriguing. And then Sigmar's Will. Prey on a 4. Make a chanting roll d6 if it's unmodified 1. You can re-roll the dice. She's just that good. Pick one of the following effects to apply until the start of your next turn. Pick up to 2 if you did a 10 up. Hallowed Ground. Enemy units using the normal move ability cannot end that move within 5 of a friendly Cities of Sigmar human unit. Why are you so racist? Okay, that is wholly within 12 of this unit. Which means the minimum charge distance is now 5 instead of 3, which causes what would have been basically auto charges. It gives you the possibility of failing them, I suppose. And it also like zones off potential choke points or sections of the table so that they have to waste untold amounts of movement getting past it sometimes. Interesting. Potentially really good board control, actually. Like wholly within 12 if you're right on that edge. Plus 5. 17 radius. What's the diameter, right? 34. A big zone. So that's a giant no man's land that you've created. Intriguing rule. Fervent prayers. Each time friendly City Sigmar human model, racist again, that is wholly within 12 of this unit is slain by a combat attack, and that model was in combat with the attacking unit. Roll a die on a 6, 1 mortal. Cool. All right. So you explode into holy light sometimes. And then salvation. Up to 3 friendly City Sigmar human units. Remove them from the battlefield. Set them up again. Wholly 12 of this unit and not in combat. Can't charge. Pick up to 3 friendly City Sigmar human units anywhere on the table. Doesn't matter if they're in combat or not. Doesn't matter if they're in line of sight or not. 40 inches away. Save them and just place them next to this lady. Well, not even next to. Wholly within 12. As long as they're not in combat. Big tactics. What a tactical player Pontifex is. Also, double priesties. Priest 2. So you got Priest 2, 4-up ward. Satellite laser pizza pit on manifestations, wizards, and priests within 18. With a lot of really interesting tactical shit. Tactically win the game in various ways. Really interesting model. Can't fight, but you don't give a fuck. Slow as hell, for sure. What's Pontifex's cost? What's she up to? 250. Yeah, I would figure so, because her abilities are actually quite good. Oh yeah, and no whoopsie doodles either. Because you get to reroll unmodified ones. For, well, this particular prayer. I like her. Didn't she used to be good? I thought she used to be, like, sick as well. The Pontifex. Maybe she just looked good on paper, but actually didn't pan out on... Or she looked good on paper, but it didn't pan out on the battlefield, maybe. So you lose your unbind. You lose some attacks that you didn't give a fuck about at all before. You have a 4-up ward still a priest 2. And then your prayer is a 5. Pick one of the following effects. You don't get the reroll ones though. Add 2 to move characteristic of humans. That's really good. Friendly cities, humans have a ward of 5-up while they're only within 12. That's really good. Roll D3 for each enemy, wizard or priest on the whole battlefield. 2-up mortal. Okay, that's really good too. Interesting. Okay. I think you actually have 2 good choices for Pontifex here. You could choose the old Pontifex, which is meat and potatoes. Just the simplest but strong. 2-move is always good. 5-up ward is always good. Blast people, probably never use this, but sometimes, I don't know, maybe you'll use this, whatever. A little harder to pray for, right? And you get an unbind as well. Like, so old Pontifex is just, hey, what's the most generically good things you can ever do? She does it. But prays on a 5. New Pontifex is, what's the most tactical genius bullshit you can pull off? And it's easier to do by a lot. A legitimate choice, probably, depending on what you're trying to do. I think it's weird that they chose a unit that was already good, but maybe people weren't playing it, so what the fuck do I know? Checkpoints. 250 for the new one. And this is the index, so it has probably old points. Does anybody who plays this army know the current points of Pontifex Zenestra, old version? That will inform the choice as well. 170. Way cheaper. Okay. Damn. That makes the Tactical Genius one look a lot worse. But that could be a clue into what the new points for this might be. I don't know. Hey, all right. Interesting. That's something to think about as a Cities player. Got an extra 50 points floating around. Since I don't play the army, I don't know exactly what they're looking for to solve problems that only you would know if you built the army and played it a few times. But I think the 2 Warscrolls are kind of interesting to compare and contrast. Freeguild Cavaliers. Let's get to it. 3 health, 3 save, 10 move. Good wheel. That's a good wheel. Cavalier weapon, charge 1 dam. So 2 attacks, 3s and 4s, 1, 2. And then 2 attacks, 5, 3, 0, 1. And this is a unit of 5, right? The Cavaliers. So 10 attacks, all-out attack, or some other thing, right? 2s and 4s. Interesting. That's a rough one. Only rend 1, 2 dam. Kind of light on damage. But a 3-up save is sick. The red work. If this unit is in combat and has not charged. What do you mean? I want to do that. I always want to do that. I want to be charging. Then again, maybe you're not exactly going to blow somebody up, right? It's not exactly Vanguard that expects there to be naught but ash in front of them whenever they enter combat off of a charge. Only 2 attacks per model. It's kind of rough. If this unit is in combat and has not charged, pick this unit and up to 1 friendly Freeguild Cavalier Marshal or Marshal on Griffin within this unit's combat range, so they have to be absolutely attached at the hip. Roll a die, add 1 to the roll if there are fewer models in this unit than the total number of enemy models in units that are in... Look at all these fucking paragraphs on a Tuesday. So it has to be in combat. It couldn't have charged. It has to be right next to a Freeguild Cavalier Marshal, and by right next to, I mean within the combat range of, and then you roll a die, and then you add 1 to the roll if there were fewer models in this unit than the total number of enemy models in units that are in combat with this unit. Then, on a 4-up, you count as having charged. The juice is not worth the squeeze. For all of this setup, I was ready to hear the sentence, "You win the game," or something. Yeah. They got one of the older rules writers maybe on this one. I'm not sure. That's a whole lot of words. Too bad I ain't reading them. Yeah, Freeguild Cavaliers. Kind of bad, but what were the old ones? How bad were the old ones? Was it like forces you to play a Freeguild Cavalier Marshal who isn't good? Like, I don't want to play him anyway, right? Freeguild Fusiliers, Battle Mage. So old version is 10-3-3-1. 3 attacks, 4s and 4s, 1-1, charge 1 damage. Oh, so you get 5 fewer attacks per squad, but they all hit on 3s instead of 4s. Honestly, like, kind of call it a wash, really. And then, if this unit charged, pick an enemy within 1. Roll die for each model in this unit that is in combat. For each 4, inflict a mortal. Yeah, man, I think the old ones are, like, arguably better, but not great. And the new one is a 7,000 word essay that leads to +1 damage. Once you're already in combat, the turn afterwards, maybe. Disappointing. Cities of Sigmar, oh man, are we running out of steam with these cool, fun, and interesting updates? Cities of Sigmar, we got Cannon Crews, which is pretty decent. Racist rule that gives +1 to Rend for stuff. Rend is great. You love to see Rend. Especially on ranged weapons as well. Possibly Ironwold Great Cannon's better here because +1 Rend is probably functionally equivalent to rerolling 1 roll within the sequence. Strong but a little annoying ability to set up. Cool flavor, but not so wonderful. Run and charge is good here. Pontifex, flexing but maybe expensive. And then Cavaliers are disappointing in a different and more annoying way. Okay. Man, COS is maybe the first miss. Like the others, I could see what they were doing and I appreciated it. But this one might be the first just about full miss. Yeah. This one gets an F, but grading on a curve, it might still get an F, D minus. Yeah. It gets a D minus on the curve and an F if we're not grading on the curve. But it's not a complete miss. You will use some of these abilities, I bet. A complete miss is like an F, okay? So it's not a complete miss. This Vision of Cavaliers is much more suited to their grinder function. I think they're supposed to be grinders, you know? It just might not be the addition for grinders. Or maybe they don't have the stats for it or something. I don't know. But I think there's room in the game for cavalry that is supposed to grind. Or have the grinding option. Even if everything else feels like it's pushing against that. I think there's space for that. And I think that's a cool concept or a cool idea. Remember back in the old days where you equipped your Varangard with the swords and forewent the bonus charge damage because you wanted to just lock stuff in combat and crit mortal, meat and potatoes people down until they were just dead. Kind of like that. Anyway, meh. A big meh. Somebody asked, are we getting just 5 days of these updates or one article per faction? We're getting one article per faction. And so far there have been 6 articles, 6 days, and 6 factions. Metal. Monday, tomorrow, will be the 7th one. And it will be... Tomorrow you'll need to bring your wading boots as we're hitting the swamps. And that sounds like Cruel Boys to me. Going all out with how commands work in the new generals. Oh, so actually even more updates for the General's Handbook itself and not just a purely factionial one. The swamps. I'm very interested to see Cruel Boys because I liked the direction their index was going. And then they undid that with the Battle Tome. And so perhaps the General's Handbook just kind of like, you know, puts some masking tape over that and writes in a Sharpie the index again. You know, like just right on top of it. We are reverting to patch 1.0.1b. Yeah, we'll see what we get with that one. All right, Age of Sigmar, folks. Tune in Monday for more Age of Sigmar news. But there's more content ahead. Massive Final Fantasy MTG spoilerinos. I've seen about half of them. I'm going to talk through them. If you don't play Magic, apologies. But it's kind of a big deal. Anyway, I'll hit you with some shit, and then we shall return.